Welcome from Vera to Security. Navigating compliance can be daunting, but remember, security is a continuous journey. Let's embark on the path to stronger protection together. Enjoy the video. Hey, thanks for joining. Today we're going to be talking about the second part of our vendor info form for vendor tracking and assurance. And I'm going to customize a few of the questions and have that happen dynamically. So one of the things I added in here is owner admins, right? So technically, if we wanted to manually handle this, right, we could just add new users as they came up, and maybe we just wanted to track the owner and the admins in this tool. If we have a full access tracker, as far as permissions goes, that we don't need to keep it in here as well. We do want to know like who we should ask if we need a user added, or what needs to happen, if we need to contact the vendor. So at least owner admin, I think, is a really good idea. But, we can do more. So the way I have this set up, if you go to responses and open up that sheet that holds our responses, go ahead and add a new sheet to this workbook, and we are going to rename it to be called Access. And if you look at the code, let's go back in and look at the code. You go to the ellipsis and script editor. You'll see that there is a function here on the Form Connect that will go and look for a sheet called Access. And what we're going to do in this sheet is create two rows of data, and I actually already have them, so I'm just going to copy them in. And I'm going to have a list of employees. And I'm going to say for the column rights, I actually want to say if people have access or no access. And maybe you want to add to this, maybe there's different roles that you want to have added in here. If you don't already have a more advanced way to track that, this is not a bad way to get started. And it would serve as evidence if you were undergoing an audit, if you put the processes in place to actually use it. But now that this is in place, I'm going to go ahead in here and I am going to run the Form Connect. Let's see what happens. All right, so now if I go in and try to add a new response, it probably won't let me go to the next page. Nope. So I'll put in, what am I going to put in here? Qualys. And this is vulnerability data. And I'm going to say it is qualys.com. It's active. They have company internal data like IP addresses and things like that, but there's no other data that's available. So I'm going to say it's a medium. Well, I don't know. They have our vulnerabilities, so I guess you could argue that it's high. And you would want to, in your organization, create a document outlining what all of these mean, right? Critical, high, medium, low, informational. They don't mean anything if you don't define them. So you really need to do that. And now you'll see filled in on this form is that entire list of employees. And all the access types, right? So maybe we have 3 admins and a bunch of people that have access, and then a bunch of people that don't have access. And we could probably do some sorting on this and things to enhance it. But each one of those needs an answer. We do our review date, and now all of that information is going to be available as part of this vendor response. I'm just going to go ahead and submit that. So what we did here, just like we did previously, is we actually ran this code. But the same way we put a trigger in for the on submit, we can also put a trigger in so we don't have to worry about if new employees get added. We always want to make sure that those new employees get added to the form. We would go ahead and say on open, we're going to do the form connect on open. I don't have to change anything there, and we'll save that. And now if we make any changes, so let's go ahead in our spreadsheet and we'll add myself at the bottom here. And that automatically saves. So let's go ahead and want to close this because we want to make sure that we go ahead and launch this as a new item. So here, let's go ahead and put in Facebook. And this is social media. Vendor status is active. There is nothing sensitive about this data. They're not a sub-processor. They have informational risk rating, informational for a determined risk rating. And if we look down at the bottom of this, Linda is not here. I trigger the code to run and refresh this page. And there's Linda. All right, so I'm going to add one more user in here. And then I'm going to shut everything down so that I know I am triggering that open event. I'm going to go ahead and reopen the form. And I am going to go in to run the form. And, oh, it saved the Facebook response. That's fine. And when I look at the bottom, we'll see that that new user has been automatically added. So as you get new employees, you can go ahead and add them. There's probably no access to Facebook for most people except for the marketing department. But anyhow, it will automatically update based on your adding new employees. So that can help ease some of the strain of having to maintain the forms manually. And all of the code is part of that sample code that is in the form, or the code that's included in the form. All right, so that's that. We'll probably do a later video on what sort of documentation makes sense based on the risk rating. But have fun with this tool. I hope you like it. I'll take any comments or suggestions for improvements. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us today. If you found value in this video, consider subscribing for more insights on cybersecurity and compliance. Remember, together, we can make the journey to better security easier. Until next time, stay safe and vigilant.